Can Zeke deke again? Hello, everyone. I'm Jonathan Coachman. This is Madden NFL Football on EA Sports. Coming up, Ezekiel Elliott, fresh off 100 yards a week ago. Coming up, we'll see the visiting Minnesota Vikings taking on the Dallas Cowboys. With that, let's get on over to AT&T Stadium in Arlington for the call from Jerry World. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Dallas Cowboys. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by the former Mississippi State product, the mobile quarterback, Dak Prescott.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. They give him a gain of 38.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. From the left side is complete to Rodgers. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Defensively, they just lost him. He was waving his arms saying, I'm wide open. They found it.
Yeah, and it's so interesting about when a receiver starts to wave his arms because some guys, right off the line of scrimmage, they declare themselves open. You know, those guys throw the one arm up, hit me right now. In this case, he was so wide open that he was frantically trying to get his attention to make sure he got the football. And then I'm sure his only thought when the ball was in the air, don't drop it. Had too much time to think.
Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. How about to start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. Goal line offense, something they've really been emphasizing in practice lately. Now they have a chance here to put all that hard work to use. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
From back at the 4, here's second and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it third and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
A great job to hold him to just a yard there. Now it's 4th and goal. And forthcoming, a field goal try for the Cowboys. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick here is good. And the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded at the 6. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
It's been quite the evolution for Stephon Diggs, because when he came out of high school, many thought he was the top prospect going into college football. Didn't have quite the career that was expected and actually got drafted lower than what many people thought. But, boy, is he playing to a top level now while he's in Minnesota.
On second down, Michel. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's third down. Here are the starters defensively for the Cowboys. They were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. Off the play fake. Fields. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
On now to kick it away is the punter, Matt Weil. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super toe.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. On second down, Elliott. Twisting away. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The numbers for Zeke from last week. 23 carries, 117 yards.
Yeah, he could very well be on his way to a rushing title, but guess what? His offensive line, they're meeting separately because they want that rushing title as much as he does, and they want to make sure they get him there.
This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead him to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Stop made there by Gerald McCoy.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now Prescott. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Prescott from the gun. And the pressure gets to him again. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And taken right on the 30. 49-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Throwing on 1st down. Fields. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. The numbers for Diggs from a week ago. 8 catches, 91 yards, and a touchdown.
When you turn in good, consistent performances each and every week, you will rank in the top 10 in the league in receiving yards, and he's number 7 currently, hoping to move up as time goes on.
I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up 1st downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Here we go now.
From the gun on 3rd down, Fields to the right side to Eric Ebron. And he's got the 1st down yardage before being taken down at midfield. His first catch, good for 9 and a 1st down.
They brought in the heavy set on 3rd down, and that usually means running play, but we have seen them throw out of that formation. And sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one, wound up hitting him for a 1st down.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Here we go now. 3-19.
On first down, Fields. Flush to his right. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 30.
Looking to throw on second down. Fields. And he hits his tight end, Ebron. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
From the gun, Fields. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Now a first down carry, it's Michel. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. So just a lone field goal in this first quarter of play. 3-0 is our score. We're back to Arlington in just a moment.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They've got a second down and 8 to start things out.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get to him just inside the 15. Even after the strong run we just saw, they're able to corral him quickly defensively. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now. play action. Fields. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
They converted twice on third down that drive already, but couldn't make it a third. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
And Elliott puts this one through. And that will tie us at 3-3. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Prescott on first down. Throw left side is complete to Reed. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Prescott now. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion, and to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
And oh, look at that, a diving catch. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it. And he got it. Prescott now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. Throwing. Prescott. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Daniil Hunter in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. The give is to Elliott. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. They get 5 yards on the run there. Still left staring at a 3rd and about 14.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
3rd and long for Prescott. And he's going to be hit and driven into the turf. Daniil Hunter in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll kick it away for the second time. And this one hits at the one, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Offense marching back onto the field, and our focus shifts here to Sony Michel. At his current pace, sure looks well in line for a 1,000-yard season, but some of the older folks watching that remember the 12-game seasons in the NFL probably say, man, it was a lot harder to do that back then.
Yeah, even the 14-game seasons. And, you know, when we talk to those veteran runners, some of those guys who wear gold jackets, right, and appear in Canton, they look at this and go, you know, it's kind of like going to school and taking 5 years to get your degree instead of just 4.
A victory lap. Now, they also used to walk uphill to school both ways.
In the snow.
In the snow.
Blizzards.
Milk was 5 cents. Hey, but he's having a great year, not to take anything away from it. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. To throw on 2nd down. Fields. That's out to his running back, Michel. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Fields. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. 14 yards that time for number 14.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
This quarterback now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's 1st down.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
A give. This is Michel. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. They'll try and run for it. Here's Michel. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4. Cowboys swarm in, and it's blocked. Now, so much for pinning him really deep. Short punt could have pinned him inside the 10. Now great field position the other way.
It's never good when you're punting the ball and your eyes see the ball go back behind you.
No.
In however form, whether it's over your head or to the side, never good. Now it becomes a race to get to the football so they don't pick it up and take it all the way.
And now here come the Cowboys. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And his kick is indeed good. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals. It's 6-3. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. And now out comes Minnesota. They begin with Michel on the ground. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers, he's under 3 yards a carry at the moment.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Fields. Ebron's got it. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Here we go now. Green, 39. Green.
To throw on 3rd down. Fields. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. And that'll get him to 1st down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant. Throwing on 1st down. Fields. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Now they nabbed the rookie there for the 5-yard penalty.
So much going through his head. You know it just has to be, right? All of his assignments and realizing every game he plays, one of the better players in the league will be opposite him.
To throw on 2nd down. Fields. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
On 3rd down, Michel. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when you clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle it. That's what you're looking for.
And before they can run this 3rd down play, we're going to get a timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the 1st half. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got the 1st down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Schwartz. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Could we get a touchdown in this 1st half after all? It's 1st and 10. A 1st down throw for Prescott. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off at the 12, and he'll wind up losing 5 yards or so on the return, but no matter, they've got the football back.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
The Vikings now heading onto the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of 1st downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 1st downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
This drive starts out on the ground with Michelle. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
So if you like field goals, this is your game. 6-3, 3 field goals at the break. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things definitely getting interesting around the NFL as we begin the month of December. So let's get right to it. We'll get started down at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. And they are just about ready to head to halftime with the Dolphins on top. The Dolphins locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And as you see, they were losers back on Thursday night. 24-7, the final. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City. See what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And for the moment, they trail the visiting Saints in that one. Teddy Bridgewater with a touchdown pass. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
Set. 3-19.
Operating from the gun, Fields. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. Back to throw. Fields. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
The Vikings on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 17. From the gun, Fields. Hard throw, incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know, the rhythm seems off. Here's Matt Weil now. Remember, though, he did have one blocked earlier. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They go to Elliott again. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
And now out comes Minnesota. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
On the ground, this is Michel. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, not a game that you're going to go crazy about, but when you start at your own 2-yard line, any type of space is good for the offensive guys.
Yeah, you just can't go backwards from here. They did it. Now we'll see if they can keep it on schedule here on second down. DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
Hurry up, here we go.
This is Michel on the counter. And he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A good pickup there at 22. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
And he did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Making the stop there, Daniil Hunter.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
Second down, Prescott. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
Slants are so tough to cover because everything happens so fast. But sometimes it happens too fast for the guy catching the ball because all of his movements have to be quick off the line of scrimmage, and then all of a sudden the ball's right on top of you. And maybe he got a little bit ahead of himself there.
Yeah, a lot of times coming in with good pace, and he dropped it. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. The former first-round pick, Vernon Hargraves, the one who was there defensively. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And his kick is right there. It's good, and they continue to lead in the battle of field goals here. It's now 9-3. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
They'll try to get this offense going with Michel. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Hurry up, here we go.
Keeping it on the ground on first, Michel. Well, a pretty move, couldn't create much space. Down just beyond the 35. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
Off the play fake. Fields. Goodwin able to haul it in. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Hurry up, here we go! 3-19!
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll make it 3rd and 13.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
2 running plays go backwards, so what's the call on 3rd and 13 now?
Here we go! 3-19!
Off play action. Fields over the middle, and he's got Goodwin complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs as we just saw there.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
Here we go now! 3-19! 3-19!
Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kalen Balaj. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Fields. Alluding to, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14.
Here we go! 3-19!
Operating from the gun. Fields. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a 1st down.
And that's how you pick up a 1st down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
Might we see our first touchdown of the game? Here's 1st and goal.
Here we go! 3-19! 3-19!
Off the play fake. Fields. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5.
As much football as we watch, we've seen this work many times. In the red zone, first down, take a shot at the end zone, and points result. In this case, though, give credit to the defense. They outguessed them, were prepared, and intercepted the pass.
The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this 2nd down call after that type of a gain.
Again, it's Elliott. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. A give to Elliott, and an alley to run. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Back now in Arlington. It's the Cowboys with a football. They'll be looking to tack on to their lead as we get set for the 4th. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. A 20th carry here for Elliott. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Here's Elliott. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that. I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out. So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Prescott. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Charles, thinking back to what you said in the first quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have one right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When you talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team, especially for a team that's an underdog.
They run a draw here on 2nd down. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter. He's been terrific so far. Oh, it's a wobbler here. That'll go down as just a 20-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you've got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Fields. Man open. It's Goodwin. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Looking to throw. Fields. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. And these numbers showing up on the screen, that's why he's their star. They kept him down for a little bit, couldn't keep him down for a full 4 quarters.
But what they were hoping for was a half of a game. And if they could have shut it down at the half, they had done their job. But as you mentioned, a full 4 quarters, and the best, they always feel like they're 1 run away from changing the momentum or breaking something big. And we're starting to see that here in the second half.
And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A first down carry by Elliott. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get into the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
On first down, Fields. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. Second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
To throw again. Fields. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-9.
From the gun, Fields. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Matt Weil now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And that one came close to hitting the big scoreboard up there as the fair catch is made inside the 20-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead. I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They've got to go thank the guys on D.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down.
Here we go. 1-8. 26.
Prescott now on 2nd down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jamie Collins in from his linebacker's spot. He's able to drop him for a loss of about 10.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
Well, that's just simply not right. To make that kind of a catch, that spectacular, and not get a first down out of it.
I guess he could put it on his personal highlight reel, however.
Yeah, he'll get the catch, he'll get the yardage, but he doesn't get what he really wants.
And now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on for the 5th time here today. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Let's go!
He's back to throw. To Michel on the dump off. He'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll make it 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down.
Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
All right, here we go.
Following the penalty, Michel, and he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle. The Vikings in the hurry up. They're hustling up to the line. Back to throw. This is caught. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. They come up on a 1st and goal and most likely 4-down territory as they need a touchdown and the PAT for the lead. And they will run it with Michel. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Back to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown. And they're an extra point away from taking the lead here in the final minute. Now they can boot it through on the always important extra point, and then their defense has to hold up their end of the bargain.
And there's something that you've pointed out in numerous games that we've worked. Okay, the excitement's going on. Everyone's celebrating over there. Who's calling up the defense to make sure they're focused because they still have some work to do?
A very important extra point there, up and good. And that is going to put them on top by a point, and it sets us up for quite a finish. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it's polished off by a Viking score. Elliott now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
Yeah, they practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Schwartz. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the 4th. They'll look to throw. And he's got Rodgers. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a 1st down. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. Prescott. Throwing right, and that's complete. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. Now flags fly in, and one of the Cowboys looked like he got going a little early.
False start, offense.
Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
Here's Prescott, and he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Daniil Hunter in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. On third down, Elliott. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the
down.
conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag. But you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. After the penalty, it's Elliott. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field. And now this game's going to come down to the right leg of their kicker. 3 for 3 so far, and a fourth would win it. And this one is right through. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. He hasn't missed a kick all year. Why would he start now?
That's a great question, isn't it? Well, maybe because that was the most nerve-wracking kick he had to attempt all year, but he knocked it through just like it was an easy chip shot.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. It's an 8th loss of the year, and that one cements the fact that they're not going to reach their goal of finishing over 500.
And that's too bad because they really pressed for it. You know, they gave it a heck of a run. But now they've got to find out who's going to play hard down the stretch and still try and win ball games.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Cowboys as we sign off and say so long from Arlington.